Hello, Jim Hodges here, Scout here. Scout is a Beagle, a little over 4 years old, part of that line of Beagles that won Westminster a little while back. That Beagle who won came from Advance, North Carolina, which is right down the road. Scout is here for our residency training. We're teaching him obedience. We're trying to teach him what we'll accept, what we won't accept, that when we give a command, we're the leader. That's going to be the biggest challenge. It's a big challenge with any dog that starts to get up in age. We can teach them new tricks. We can teach them what to do, but we have to be a leader. When we say something, we have to mean it. What does that mean? That means if we give him a command, he's got to do it. If he doesn't do it, we have to make him do it. You remember what I talked about, motivation, praise, and consequence. We praise when he does what we want. When he does something wrong, we provide a little bite or a consequence. Not intended to intimidate, dominate, break his spirit, or hurt him, but really to direct him to what we want from him. We're providing structure and boundaries at the end of the day. All right, so let's see what happens. Listen to my tone of voice. Watch my hand signals. Watch my leash work, because this is how we start becoming the leader of the pack with our dogs. Not only that, we can start to take them out and walk and do things along those lines. So, you ready? Let's go. Good boy, Scout. So, we're walking on a leash. He's supposed to walk with us. He's not supposed to pull out in front. He's to go with us. Where we go, he goes. Atta boy. Good boy. So, let's go. If he started to pull, what would I do? Sorry about that, man. I would tap back on the leash. Let's go. And I would just tap. When he started walking correctly, I would let him know. I would praise him for it. So I'll turn where I lead the walk, not him. He follows where I go. When I stop, he can sit. Attaboy, I'm going to praise him and love him. Let's go. Sit. So our movement command, we're going to be tapping the leash in the direction we want to go. When we tell him to sit, attaboy, he's got to sit. If he doesn't do it, we're going to tap the leash right up above his head. That's a consequence. That's a bite. It's not designed to hurt him. It's designed to direct him and let him understand that we can physically and mentally, but in this case physically, lead him when we ask him to do something. Sit, he has to hold sit. Every dog in the world knows how to sit, then they get up on their terms. We're trying to change life. He's sitting on our terms. That means when we put him in a sit, he has to hold it until we release him, okay? Very important. If he breaks that command, be aware it's going to happen again and again. Good boy. Okay? If he does it, we're great. We move on to the next command or our walk or what have you. One thing about the sit, I don't like to keep a dog in a sit for a long, long period of time. I don't want to put that pressure on their hips. You're going to see him sometimes, he's going to sort of splay out and get comfortable. It doesn't bother me as long as he obeys the rule, the intent or spirit of the command when I ask him to do it, okay? So he can move right now. We're off a loose leash, okay? Sit, hand signal, just like this. Good boy. And he hoped, attaboy. I liked him looking at me. He's had a hard time looking. We've really been working on it. I'll address that either in our booklet or maybe later in the video. The next is the COME command. He comes. Attaboy. Good boy. Now he comes to me and he sits. Right. If I'd have reached down and pet him then and he'd have broke the command, I would have immediately had to tap and bite him, okay? Because what happened, he's supposed to come and sit on leash, then he gets praised, and then he gets released. If I got too excited and caused him to break the command, one of the things I could have possibly do is come, get him to sit, attaboy, break, and then pet him and love him and tell him how good he is. I hope you see the difference. One, we tell him to come, he sits, we tell him good boy. If he breaks the command, we've got to put him back in the sit, okay? The other is he comes to us, he sits, then we release him and give him all that great praise. Come is powerful, okay? You know, we want to be happy, we want to be upbeat, we want him to want to come with us. Give him a treat, give him a lot of love when he comes to us. Off leash, I'm not quite as regimented, this is me personally. If he'll come to me and sit, I'm happy. I immediately praise and break and let him see how happy I am with what he's doing, okay? Back to let's go. So if he did not come to me, I would have tapped the leash this way, okay? And the hand signal is this. So it would be C-O-M-E. If he didn't come, not come, good boy. And if he didn't get to me, it would be a tap straight up. See, a little tap on the leash, straight up to have him sit. So you see, he saw that little tap or felt that little tap and knew it meant for him to sit, okay? Down. In front, the hand signal is just like that. Good boy. Ground's a little wet. I'm not going to keep him there for a long time. But guess what? If I wanted to keep him there for 5 or 10 minutes, he has to hold it. He has to hold that down until I release him. Again, when it's a little moist and wet, I may make him do it sometimes just to let him know that I'm the boss. But in general, I'm not going to be looking for a mud puddle to go make him lay down in. Break. And you notice as soon as I broke him, where did he come? Right to me. So when you release him and he comes up, always praise. It always helps to build that rapport that he comes to you when he's done a command and that you're going to love him and praise him well for it. So this is the DOWN from in front. If he didn't do it, I would have tapped the leash straight to the ground. Okay? Break. Notice I didn't really give him the command. I wanted to be able to tap the leash, but it's little taps towards the ground. And anytime I tap the leash, up, back on the let's go, up on the sit, this way on the come, or this way on the down, I like to say no or and. And the reason I like to verbally accompany the tap is so that as he learns, he's doing something wrong 10, 15 feet from me, I can go or no, and he'll get a flashback and remember that the sound was associated with the body. Hope that makes sense. Break. Let's go. So back to let's go. Watch my hand. Play. I point to his bed. Good boy. He gets on the bed. There's been other dogs on the bed as well today. He's smelling. I don't care. When he gets on the bed, he can lay down, sit down, stand up, read a book. I really don't care what he does as long as he stays on the bed. As soon as his 4th foot gets on the bed, I praise. If he starts to get off, what am I going to do? And tap. No, no, no. Back in the direction towards the bed. And then once he's done it, even if I bit, I immediately come back and praise. Remember the rule. If he does it right the first time, I'm going to praise him. I'm going to praise him great. But if he messes up, I'm going to provide a consequence and a no. And then when he does it, I'm going to praise again, just a little bit lighter. I don't want to give him as much praise as if he did it right the first time. Break. Break is my release command. You watch this go here. Sit. Attaboy. Down. I thought I'd show you. That's the hand signal for down from the side. From in front it's like this. From here it's like this. You can see that better. If he didn't do it, I would bite him. Now he's got to hold that. I should be able to walk off and he remains there. Okay? Now if I wanted him to stay in that command for a long time, break. And this is something that I want to do with Scout, I would put him into a DOWN and then open palm in front of his face, stay. Okay? That means pack your bags, dude. You're going to be there for a while. Typically, I don't put a dog into a down stay unless it's at least 2 minutes at a time, okay? I have been, since he's been here, for reasons, because we want you to be the leader, is I've been putting him in 10 and 15 minute down stays in the middle of the room, in the kitchen, wherever. I'm teaching him he has to stay in that down while we go about our life. He can lay on his side, he can chew something, but he has to stay. If he got up, it would be with the leash in the beginning, no, 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 down, stay again. With the place, that's sort of a command that you can relax in the evenings and have him on his bed, okay? He can, remember, he can lay down, sit down, stand up, read a book, I don't care, whatever, but it's relaxing. He can do that for an hour or 2 hours at a time. Again, when he's there, he's not in a sit or a down, he's in a place command. He can have a bone to chew, one of his greenies, one of our elk antlers. It doesn't matter. He can have whatever he wants and he can enjoy it. Okay? Let's go. Good boy. So we should be able to walk like this all the time. When he goes back home, you know we've worked here, we've worked in your home, but when he goes back home and I'm not part of the picture or Rachel is not part of the picture, then he's going to go back and do what he did before he came to visit. He's programmed that way, but now hopefully you know the rules and you can start to show that it's changing, that you are the new sheriff in town, you are the leader, okay? Let's go. Other thing is he's allowed on furniture. There's a time they may not want him on the furniture, but he's allowed on furniture. If I wanted to direct him on the furniture and then teach him a time that it's not, this is the same thing that I would do in loading into a car. Boy. Okay, he knows how to get up on furniture, he loads up. Now pretend like he was on the couch. Okay, oh, good boy. If I just had him hop up for any other reason, watch this. Hop. Boy, good boy, good boy. Break. So you see, it's two things. One is a command that you're released from having to jump up. The other is if he is on the furniture, it's an off command. It's not a down, because if he's down, what is he supposed to do? Lay down, it's off. And if he doesn't do it, we're going to tap. It's real important when a dog goes home in the beginning, especially being 4 to 5 years or even 6 months, that we have some way to get him to enforce what we ask him to do. Okay? Very important. So, let's talk about the nose. Beagles are notorious for using their nose. It's an instinctive thing. That's how God designed these dogs, okay? So they want to use their nose. Can they use it without ramification? I don't believe so. I believe if we're going on a walk that we can give our command, let's go or heel, and he shouldn't be smelling. Yes, there's a time he can do it, but when we give those specific commands, no. If he started to smell the ground, we would tap up on the leash. He's done real well with that. He wanted to smell a lot in the beginning, but he does it now. He's pretty good about it. Another thing is when we go in and outdoors, I have them sit at the door, or I have them at least wait at the door, and they don't lead the way going inside. Last thing is the heel command. You know, let's go is our dog right here beside us. Not pulling, not smelling the ground. Well, heel is the same thing, except we want to keep him right here beside us, and when we stop, he is to sit automatically. So the hand signal is like this, heel. So he's lifting, we stop, no. So that might have been trainer error there. You notice I started to pet him before he had completely stopped. In his mind, my praise and my almost, if you rerun this, you'll hear me go, I was getting ready to tell him, attaboy. You will see I praised him before he finished the command. So in his mind, he thinks he finished the command because we praised him for it. Hope that makes sense. Go back and play it back. So make sure that we don't make the mistake of praising before he finishes the command. Heel. So we're going to do that again. Good boy. See how I waited that time. Anytime we screw up or he screws up, I like to go back and do it a couple of times in a row. Heel. So we could be going in a circle. I step off. He comes right back to my side. See how he's doing that? Attaboy. Break. I actually was a little more patient than I should have been. I actually waited to praise him probably about a half a second too long. It's important when we're doing training, if you've got a puppy or even a full-grown dog, especially during the learning period, that we try to praise, we try to bite in the moment so he understands why we're praising, why we're biting. You know, you've heard a lot of people talk about clicker training. Yeah, if you want a foreign device, that's fine. This is our clicker. All you've got to do is tell him good boy in the act of him doing it as he finishes it so he understands. You know, I'm here. I'm here to work with him as long as I'm alive and he's alive, okay? If you ever need a follow-up, there's no charge. All I ask you to do is come to me. If I come out to my clients, I usually charge to leave, okay? But I am here for you. I'm always here for you if you have questions. The thing that we have to do is go home and practice this. Show him that things have changed. We never, ever, ever, ever give a command unless we mean it. So that means we give the command, we expect him to do it. If he's not, we're going to make him do it. I don't care if you have company over. I don't care if it's a hurricane. I don't care what it is, but when you give a command, he needs to do it. And we do this by repetition over and over and over, not only by repetition, but by praising him when he does it, providing consistent consequence if not, okay? He gets to the point that it becomes automatic. And then we can count on him to do things as he goes on in life. It's important to practice outside, inside, with the other dog. I know you have another dog, Ollie, at home. When you give him a command and Ollie's flitting about, he's still got to obey. There's no excuse for him breaking the command, even if Ollie came and started jumping over him or tugging on him. He's got to hold the command if you give it to him. You know, my number's 336-945-3232 if you ever need me. Jim Hodges, JimHodgesDogTraining.com. I appreciate it a whole bunch. I hope this helps you. And again, I'm here for anybody if they ever have a question. Thank you and take care. Frank, good boy.